What's up, Libra? It is Street Level Spiritualities, Hanging with Libra, May 2020, and I'm feeling good. I've got my Kerry Holzman coffee mug. If you don't know who Kerry Holzman is, he is the master of tech support on YouTube. Check him out. One of the most fun 4 hours of sitting around watching someone on one camera talking I've ever had. One of the most interesting people in the world. Oh my gosh, a little coffee. How are you guys doing? Things are crazy out there. If you are into that, hopefully you're not. We all get to choose where we're at. We do need to take care of ourselves in the physical world, but don't be tripping. That is my public service announcement to you. Now, what we're going to do today with Hanging with Libra is hang out with you and talk a little bit about what's going on astrologically. And then also play a little original spiritual fun music shortly. And while we do the musical shuffle. And then we will do the tarot reading for the month of May for Libra and see what's going on. We have some interesting things. We have 3 planets going retrograde. 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. As you can tell, I'm actually feeling pretty good today. I've been under the weather for a bit and feeling a lot better now. So let's see here. I need to figure out what the hell I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. What I didn't do is I didn't pull up my Twitch stream. So this is the new format, kids. If you've been on Street Level before, we traditionally do a YouTube pre-recorded video. The new format is we're doing Hanging with live stream through Twitch. We might do some YouTube streams too. I don't know. We're figuring it out. Through Twitch. And then what we'll be doing after that is putting those up to YouTube. So this is a live stream, no edits, as you can probably tell. Anyway, okay, now it's asking me to log in. Oh, look, it's got my password connect and everything, man. I love it. Technology. Sometimes it can hose you. Sometimes it can be your friend, right? Who knows? Well, it looks like it's going. Yay. So anyway, lots of really exciting stuff going on with Street Level Spirituality. Yes, that is a sock on my, well, it looks like a sock. It's actually a glove, a fingerless glove that my friend Heather put on my, over my Beats headphones. My Beats headphones, which I'll never buy again. You spend $400 and some and they just fall apart. But they do have good sound quality. I just don't particularly care for headphones that fall apart. Anyway, let's see here. Let's get into, let's do the musical shuffle. This last song we were just listening to here is a song from my friend Russell. Really awesome Tai Chi massage therapist, yoga teacher. And that was a song he wrote. And I love supporting creativity. And so I took him in the studio and we just helped develop his first song recording. So I hope you like that. That was called Love Is All There Is. And beautiful soul, beautiful fellow. Love that man. Maybe one day I can get him on here. Actually, I love that idea. Let's get him on here for a little interview, a chit chat. Anyway, without further ado, let's do what we usually do and start shuffling the cards, prepare them for the day, and do the musical shuffle. And for today's musical shuffle, what we're going to do is we're going to play a song called Concern. All the music here on Street Level Spirituality is my own music. It's a way that I can share who I am and obviously not get strikes on my channel, which is great. But it's all spiritual music, you know, coming from the place of just being on the planet and trying to make things work. And some is more intense, some's more mellow, some's weird. It's just who I am. It's what I do. Anyway, this song is called Concern, and it's a project I did with Shai Ardabilchi. He's a percussionist here in Ojai, California, and we did an album as The Law of One, and the album's called The Heart of Consciousness. You can find it on iTunes. Again, Law of One, Heart of Consciousness. And this song is called Concern. And interesting story about this song is I was laying in bed one night and woke up, and it was weird. I had this whole message come through. So I crawled out of bed. I literally am still half asleep because I didn't want to forget what I was seeing in my dreams. And this is the song that came out of nowhere, which is really interesting. So anyway, so we'll do the music shuffle here. Welcome to the music shuffle, where we light incense and shuffle tarot cards while you listen to a new song. So anyway, let's turn that up, and then we'll do some shuffling and light some incense, and I'll be right back with you in a second if I can figure out how to do the audio. Oh yeah, that's how we do it. Okay, here we go. Enjoy concern. Minds. Got. Anyway, thanks for checking that out for a minute. That is the music shuffle. That is a track called Concern from the album Law of One that I produced with my partner Shai Alderberch. I wish I could even pronounce his name. Shai, I love you. So we're going to get along and do the astro weather for the day. I wish I had a little bumper. Astro weather. We got the cards all shuffled up. So anyway, there's a lot going on this month. If we look at, let me pull up my, I just got an email from Donald Trump. Yeah. Let's leave it at that. Anyway, okay, so starting off at the beginning of the month here, we've got the, let's look at May 1st here. This is the chart starting May 1. If you look over on the left side around 9 o'clock, that is the ascendant. That's where the chart starts, and then it goes counterclockwise around. We've got Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn all ganged up over there in the beginning of the chart. But what we want to look at here on May 1st is Mercury conjunct Uranus in Taurus. And that's down around 6 o'clock there. If you see, the yellow symbol is Mercury. To the left of it is Uranus, and to the right of it is the Sun, all residing in the house, residing in the sign of Taurus. So, you know, this brings up the whole conversation about Uranus and Taurus, which I've talked about before. But, you know, we're going through this whole thing with the virus, this whole thing with these earth changes, all have to do with Uranus and Taurus. Last time Uranus was in Taurus was from 1934 to 1942. As you may recall, is the time period of the Great Depression and World War II. Ever heard of it? And have you ever heard of all the big earth changes and the Dust Bowl and all this stuff that happened back then? Well, that was the last time Uranus was in Taurus. Uranus is the planet of sudden transformation. It comes in with a cricket bat. It clears the table out. Says, motherfuckers, get out of the way. Shit's changing. So that's Uranus. In the sign of Taurus, that is all things Taurus. That's the earth, material objects, money, love, beauty. I mean, if you know a Taurus, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, all things of the earth will be changed. The earth is in our outer reality, our material reality. There is quick and swift transformation that will be occurring from the years 2018 until 2026. So this started off in March of 2018 with the Hawaiian, the volcanoes in Hawaii. So lots of changes, and there's going to be a lot of changes. I mean, if I was in a big city, honestly, guys, I would just get the GTFO. I ain't going to sugarcoat this bitch for you. There's just too many years still of this it hasn't even peaked yet. So lots of changes. Anyway, May 1st, Mercury conjunct Uranus and Taurus. All that means is that all these topics about this Uranus and Taurus theme that we've been talking about are going to come up in conversation in our minds. There's going to be a deeper conversation about this type of sudden transformation that's happening. I would assume that there's going to be a greater social dialogue around these changes that are happening for everyone, and and then also the virus, and then anything else. But there could be also something that comes out of nowhere in regards to communication that's revolutionary and quick. Some sort of quick innovation in communications, or bunch of people just become psychic and start talking to each other in their heads. I don't know, crazy. You can just think of all sorts of crazy shit for that. Anyway, May 4th, let's keep it going here. May 4th is Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. That is my daughter's birthday. She is awesome. I love her. She was born on Star Wars Day. How cool is that? Anyway, Sun conjunct Mercury in Taurus. So that's what you saw there down here on around 6 o'clock. The Sun next to Mercury there. They're all gangbanging on each other down there. Uranus, Mercury, and the Sun can't get enough of each other. Get a room, guys. Anyway, this year on Star Wars Day, the ships are grounded with the Sun illuminating Mercury and Taurus. The way we communicate and think is very beautiful, articulate, and grounded. So it's a beautiful day to reach out and connect with someone else, have a good conversation. Love each other. Call someone. Don't touch them though. You can virtually touch them. God, am I the logo master? Look at. I'm not sponsored by Overwatch League, Los Angeles Valiant, nor am I sponsored by Corey Holzman. But they are two things that I like. I mean, I'm not really into the Valiant. They're not winners, but I'm into the whole genre. You know what I mean? The whole Overwatch genre. May 7th. What's this? We have a full moon in Scorpio. Wow. Full moons are emotional. They're big. They're big moons. They're bright. They're really bright. It's a great, great time to go running naked out in the wild. You can see where you're going. Full moon in Scorpio. You become aware of what some of your deepest needs are. And it's going to be a time of deep, deep emotional stuff. It's basically digging down deep into our deepest needs, these desires, these things that we've kind of pushed aside. Maybe it's simply because we're home and we just can't fulfill ourselves in certain ways. Or just emotionally we feel like we haven't deserved something. Or that we see things that we truly need as bad, or we have traditionally or historically. So moving forward, we're kind of like, I don't know, I kind of have that need, and it makes me feel kind of naughty, makes me feel kind of bad, I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, you do have to come to terms with who you are. You're a spirit in a monkey body. You're on Earth. You're doing your thing. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But we're doing things. We're moving around. Look at my hands. Oh, I can do things. Oh, hello. Oh, yeah. Oh, give me bean juice. I don't know. You explain it to me, man. It's weird. I think it's kind of absurd if you ask me. But anyway, it's important to take care of yourself. Get your needs met. Have hey, you know, if you're into that, go for it. Do your thing. May 11th, first of 3 retrogrades kicking in. We got Saturn going retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, going backwards back into Capricorn for a while. And that's going to be going retrograde until September 29th. So not a short transit. Saturn retrograde slows everything down. In this particular arrangement, it's a good time to look at the people around you, your friendships, your relationships, and see which ones are working, which ones are not working. You'll be pressed to take responsibility for the relationships that aren't benefiting you and removing yourself. So be aware of that. Also, when Saturn is retrograde, what happens is work slows down for certain people, depending on how it's aspecting you. So if you got money set aside, stash that cash. You might need it. Summer's going to be an interesting summer because we got 3 retrogrades going this summer, which means it's a time of, it's not a high action time. It's going to be more of a reflective time, but there's a lot of energy. There's Venusian and Jupiter energy that's wanting to do things and get really excited, but it's also a time of reflection. So it's going to be an interesting mixed bag of a summer, so to say. Yeah, so weed the garden. If you have any friendships or anything that are not working for you, just give them the boot. Then we have the next 2 days later, we have Venus entering the sign of Gemini on May 13th, and that means Geminis will benefit from the beauty of Venus, and it makes you more attractive. People want to seek you out more, things like that. But it's a trick. It's a trick because that day is also the same day that Venus goes retrograde in Gemini. So it comes into Gemini. It's like, ooh, I'm going to make you sexy, girl. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like, later, bro, we're going retrograde. Which means, it doesn't mean you can't have fun. It just means that when Venus goes retrograde, the things that you're attracted to, or the people that are attracted to you, are things that are going to be the opposite when they come back out. So you don't want to like get into a relationship and go run off and get married within the period of, you know, a few months. I'm sorry, the month. Actually, yeah, I guess it's only a little over a month. It's June 25th. It comes out. But you know, you don't want to get stuck in something and then later on be like, yo, dude, this ain't for me. I ain't feeling it. So that's Venus retrograde in Gemini. In this particular configuration, you want to be really mindful about your relationships. You don't want to overcommit yourself. It's a really good time to be more reflective. And I listen to the music and I'm like, God, I write some dark shit sometimes, don't I? It's all good. This is a breakup song. I still miss you, baby. No, I don't. It's all good though. Anyway, oh man, this coffee's good. Did you guys have your coffee today? Okay, so we've got just be careful about not overcommitting yourself in your relationships with Venus in retrograde. And then also taking on, I don't know how to say this, but Gemini is a wacky one, and they're the twins, right? So just imagine basically being attracted to odd things, right? And then you got these twins coming in, and it's kind of suggestive of odd stimulation, so to say. So just be mindful about what comes your way. You could find yourself in some odd situations, is what I'm saying, and just know that it's fun. And it's not going to last. So I'll just leave it at that. You let your mind figure out the rest of that. Okay, so the same day, May 13th, Mars also enters the sign of Pisces. So the middle of May is going to be an interesting one. Mars is the planet of forward action. It's fiery. It wants to get things done. It needs to be clear and focused, and it's ready to move forward and ram into something and move it and make it happen. It's the planet of war, right? Pisces is water and ephemeral and spacey and, you know, intuitive. Mars in Pisces doesn't know what the hell to do. So it's just kind of like floating around. It's like feels unclear. So, you know, as Venus is going retrograde, we're also going to be feeling very like unclear about our forward motion. It'll be interesting to see how the mid-May works, but it's a great time to chill back and relax, pick up a book, whatever you need to do. So May 14th, the very next day, we've got our third. I've got two computers here. I keep trying to scroll up on the other one. I don't know why. Still getting used to it. There's too many things going on. I've got all these screens. I've got music. I'm like, ah. All right, anyway. Anyone on the live stream here, thanks for joining. If you're on YouTube, please head over to Twitch and subscribe if you're, or sign up if you're not a member. Some interesting streams going on over at Twitch. Tarot is considered a game, I guess. So we're doing our stream off Twitch and then pushing it over to YouTube. But follow me on Twitch and you'll get notifications sent to your phone that will let you know when I'm streaming live as soon as I go live, and you can just pop on by and you can ask questions and all that stuff. And I also do readings, so hook it up. May 14th, Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn. So that's near the Saturn retrograde, right? Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and opportunity. Capricorn is kind of the hard worker of all the signs. It represents tradition, hard work, and success. Also kind of government and old systems. So Jupiter retrograde, there's this expansive energy happening, but then it's going retrograde, and it's in kind of a fuddy-duddy sign. So it's like, I don't know. So the symbology I got here for this one was, this retrograde is through the summer. It's until September 13th. And the visual I got was putting on your bathing suit, going to the beach, standing out in the water and being like, oh, look at me, I'm so sexy. And then the wave comes up and hits you from behind and you lose your bathing suit, you know? So Jupiter is bound to expose you this summer if you haven't checked yourself at work in a while. Take your time, evaluate every situation with a magnifying glass, and take some personal time to reflect on areas you can grow professionally. Don't be a cock at work. That's the message. Check yourself. Jupiter with its expansive energy can make you feel really excited, and then you can you can catch yourself in behaviors or kind of underdeveloped areas in your personality, in your work environment, that's going to check you, you know. So but if you can check yourself before you get checked, then you can avoid a lot of conflict, you know. So anywho, yeah, tasty. Anyway, watch your levels of overconfidence. Don't be a wang. Doing it again. I'm scrolling on the wrong computer. Don't be a wang at work. There's your message. Is that practical for you? This is all about practical spirituality, right? May 20th, the sun enters Gemini. Happy birthday to the Geminis out there. The energy in general is going to be more excited, fun-loving, ready to get out there and explore the world and your minds. You want to create new experiences for yourself. You want fresh energy that's exciting and stimulating. So that's the energy with Gemini. But again, Gemini, you know, you've got a lot of retrogrades and Venus retrograde. I mean, I don't know. You're going to be real excited to explore. It could be a short period of really interesting exploration. Let's put it that way. Just don't get too wrapped up in it, right? May 22nd, we've got the new moon in Gemini, which also means the sun is conjunct the moon in Gemini, which should be obvious because a new moon is when the sun and the moon are in the same place in the sky. FYI. It's time to switch things up. Give the norm the breaks and dive into something mentally stimulating. Grab a book. Learn something new. Sign up for a masterclass. Don't do shit. Go climb in some bushes. I just did that recently. I did my last month's readings. I literally went out and climbed in a bush because I was scared of large wild animals. And I wanted to confront that fear. So we took it out of the studio. We went down hiking on the mountains here. And I went off the trail and I found a bush and I did the readings there. And halfway through, I had this really scary feeling that I was going to get eaten. But it didn't work. It all worked out. So anyway, I don't know, have fun. May 28th, Mercury enters Cancer. So what that means is pretty straightforward. Mercury is the sign of communication, mental processes, and Cancer is the sign of nurturing and love and support and looking out for the well-being of people. So when Mercury enters Cancer, the way that we communicate is coming from more of a emotional place, and that the decisions we make come from our emotions more than our own minds. So should be a nice gentle exit to the end of the month. That is the Astro weather. Thank you so much for hanging out and joining me for that party. And I'm just going to keep pushing buttons until I get to where I want, I guess. So anyway, hope you guys are all doing good. Well, I guess it's time to do your tarot reading for the month. Libra. Yeah, I don't see anything particularly Libro-tastic here. I mean, except for Mars. Not even that. You guys are not having any really major direct aspects this month, but just in general, this whole expansive and wanting to get out there but feeling restricted energy is kind of the theme of the month. So let's kick it over to your tarot reading for the month. Now, the way I do tarot is I do this stuff for spiritual development. Try to make it somewhat entertaining, but I do like keeping it real and being a little more blunt than some people, or telling people who tell you what you want to hear. So I try to avoid that. I'm going to tell you general themes, and you place and connect it with your own life. That's the way that we can do this in a way that it's a reading that applies to a larger audience. So that said, we already did the shuffles. Let's flip over to our tarot split screen here. We're no longer doing the music shuffle. Let's kick you down. I love this new red velvet here. I like it. But it's kind of not sticking to the table. I don't know, it's kind of moving around. I don't know. I was trying to look like I was cool, but I'm not sure if that's really working. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Okay, tensions. Libra. Building tensions, huh? What's going on with Libra? And let's see what's influencing it. What's influencing the nature of the reading. Let's move this down a little bit. And let's see what's going on in the spiritual realms. Let's see what's going on in your recent past. Let's see what's going on in your subconscious realms. Let's see what's going on in your near future. Let's see what's going to happen in your attitude about the situation. And let's really see the environment of what's around you. Well, I'll tell you one thing. No matter how this reading goes, you're actually in a good place, because if your environment around you is Four of Wands, that means you're chilling. It's a good environment. Greatest hopes and greatest fears. Yeah, there's something going on in your head. You're making up a story. It's like it's not happening. Well, this is great. So you're coming out of an emotional stagnation. So let's see what's going on here. Let's flip over to the things are getting shaky, gonna lose my mind. Things are getting shaky, lose my mind. Things are getting shaky, gonna lose my mind. Things are getting shaky, gonna lose my mind. Work on time. Tell me what to do. I'm gonna live my life. All right. Okay. So got excited for a second. Tarot close up. This is obviously not done very well. Yep, I said it. There we go. Let's do that. All right. So let's check this out. So we got the 10 of Wands. That means we're reaching the ultimate point of tension. What's happening? You have a sense of burden. There's some sense of responsibility, some stress, some sort of building tensions. There's some burden or responsibility that you feel like you're carrying right now. Let's see what's the nature of this. The nature of it is the Four of Cups in reverse. You can see these two kids hanging out. No, is it? No, Five of Cups. Sorry. No. Six. God, there's so much yellow in here. I can't see anything. Maybe that's how my brand is too. Maybe that's a message for me. Less yellow. Okay, Six of Cups. We have two kids being very loving to each other. In reverse, this means being stuck in the past, some kind of naive view on something. So there's some sort of tensions building, but it's, like I said, I could tell right away when the reading started, it's in your head. So you feel tense about something, but it's coming from a place of ignorance. So whatever this big tension that you're carrying or feeling, it's a self-created view that came from somewhere else. Let's see where this is coming from here. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles in the upright position is he's excited. He's coming forward with resources. But in the reverse position, it would be the opposite of that. And this is this is your spiritual mission from the heavens. So this is some sort of, the message for you is that you're feeling stuck in some way. That's your insight. That's your spiritual insight. That's going to be the key that's going to help you get out of this. So if you're feeling stuck in something, that just means it's time to take action. So, and it's just like emotions, there's no such thing as good and bad. It's creative polarities of light and shadow that are helping you either have insight for inspiration or pointing you in the right direction. Shadow, if you look at a shadow, it always points in the direction where the sun will rise again. So we don't fear our fears. We don't lose ourselves in the darkness. We look at the darkness and we respond to it consciously. So I keep thinking about that. Well, then I need to respond to it. Well, can I do anything about it? No. Well, I can let it go. So, it's a two-pronged fork there, buddy. So there's something that you're being made aware of from the spiritual realms. It's saying take action. You're feeling stagnant. So you're just feeling stagnant. These things that you're creating in your mind is just, it's coming out of the stagnation. There may be a whole piece of the pie that you're missing. There may be a whole other direction that you're missing. For instance, like I can get myopic on my computer a lot because I do a lot of streaming. I do a lot of digital design, like music production, all that stuff. And I can get all these stories in my head about what's wrong and what's happening. But really, ultimately, it's just the fact that I'm not getting up and going on a bike ride, or not getting up and going for a jog, or taking the time to communicate with someone else. So we can create these stories in our head when we're out of balance. So you're getting an inspiration, you're getting a message from Spirit that's saying, hey, you're feeling a little stagnant. What areas can we kind of freshen things up? So anyway, that's your message from Spirit. Let's get back to the reading. So we have, what do we got here? We got recent past is the Seven of Swords in reverse. So you're breaking free from some mental challenges. So this process is basically already happening. You already know the solution. You just got to keep having faith to move forward. What it's going to take to get out of this stagnant place. On your subconscious realms, this can be kind of what's motivating you in the situation. And this is obviously a very protective person. You can see standing there. He looks a little wounded, and he's saying, "I don't feel safe." So there's something that says, "I don't feel safe about moving forward here." So that's kind of, so what you do is you take small steps and you do it in a way that feels safe and comfortable. I'm scared of large wild animals and snakes. So when I go hiking, if I walk through the grass, I just go slow. And I look where I step before I step. And then the more I do it, the more I relax. So just take small steps towards the future here. Now, what's interesting here is this is a masculine energy. Now, what's really important to understand is that masculine energy and feminine energy is not gender specific. Those are polarities of creativity. All life is creativity. Masculine energy or positive energy is not good or bad. It is what it is. It is initiatory. It is inspiration. It is intention to do something. The responsibility of the masculine energy or the positive energy is to know and be clear about what it intends, because the feminine energy will take your intention, incubate it, and bring it to fruition, and at a cost to everyone involved. So you need to be aware of what that cost is, because ultimately that cost is put on your credit card. It's your debt. So what you intend and what you invest in and what you put into the world and what you intend is created. So the King of Cups here is a masculine energy that is very in touch with his intuition. He's very balanced in his masculine and feminine energy. He's mastered his intuition from a masculine point of view. So in the upcoming future here, you have the theme of the King of Cups coming in reverse, which is, a certain sense of volatility, and this could also mean some sort of emotional manipulation. So this is kind of the unmastered or the unskilled version of that. So you need to be aware that, or at least what I'm getting out of it, is there may be somebody else involved in this dynamic, kind of keeping you in chains, so to say, or keeping you bound to these anxieties, and you really need to go inward and find your own view about this situation or issue that you're going through. Page of Wands, this is your attitude in the situation. Your attitude is all about getting going, getting something started. The Wands are like kind of the primal energy of creation, and you're there and you're kind of getting started. You're starting to create. You want to go off in a new direction. So this is going to be key for you, is to have a vision for what this new, really hold a vision for what this new thing is for you, and be really in touch with your intuition about moving forward. Really turn off the music, turn off the audio around you, turn off the voices around you, turn off the news, turn off the critique. Really get in touch with who you are, what you want to do. And make that a focal point, so you're not getting wrapped up in all these stories and mental challenges and fears and manipulations. I just think that I'm getting the feeling that you're getting echoes from the past, is what I'm hearing. So, for instance, this is your environment. If your actual environment is the Four of Wands, that means you actually have a really good foundation around you. So again, just like what I said at the very beginning of the reading, I think that there's a certain level of self-created narrative here, and it may come from the past. Your greatest hopes and greatest fears is that you moving forward with your new vision is going to create tensions and struggles with people. This could be something like, a parent wanting to change careers, and they're scared about what their partner, or how that's going to affect their partner, what their partner thinks, and their children around them. It could be that what you want to do is revolutionary, that you're really getting in touch with your spirit, and you're concerned that it's going to create tensions with other people. Now, this is good, because we want to do that. We want, if we're shaking up our environment, our relationships, because of our truth, that means we're just getting to the right, we're adjusting things to the right place, no longer being distorted and inauthentic in the energy that we're putting out there and receiving back. So, let them fall, let them die, fuck them. That's the way I feel about it. So, I don't mean that in a mean-hearted way. I just mean, like, don't, you ain't got time for that. You ain't got time for that. Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups, this is your outcome card. The Four of Cups, in the upright position, as you can see, is Spirit is handing this fellow, who seems to have somewhat of a bad attitude, this insight, this emotional insight. And he doesn't seem very receptive to what's being brought to him. So it usually reflects like contemplation, reevaluating things, not being ready to move forward, just kind of reflecting on things. Now, upside down, this can be some sort of, it's not seeing things clearly emotionally. It's not being clear. So I think that there's some work here, Libra. I think there's some work here, and it has to do with being willing to let go of the past. It has to be, it's something about being willing to surrender your old ways for new ways, because you have everything that you need around you. And I think this is going to be, a really good opportunity for you to grow, sometimes things in the past, they work for us, right? They work great. They work so good that we're used to getting what we want the way we want it, and it kind of gets easy, right? And then one day, what used to get those results, what you used to do to get those results, stop getting you those results. And it can be frustrating. People experience this in midlife, where all of a sudden they're not the sexiest anymore. All of a sudden they're not wanted as much anymore. And then we're forced to dig a little bit deeper into who we really are and what we really have to offer. So I'm getting this kind of this sense that there's some aspect in your life that served its purpose for a while, but it's not necessarily serving its purpose anymore. And instead of being frustrated about not getting what we want or not coming out the way that we hoped it would be, to start looking and digging a little bit deeper and see it as an opportunity to discover more of who we are. And so I think that's really the message I'm getting for you this month, Libra. So anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by. This is Hanging with Libra, May 2020. There's a lot of new stuff coming up. I've got a whole new website. We're going to be selling some flower essences that were based on Atlantean techniques. I mean, literally, these are supposedly the way they were created in Atlantis. These are homeopathic remedies that are similar to the Bach flower remedies. We're going to be doing one called Holy Water, which is for general cleansing, and then some other unique combinations of Southern California native flowers that are really powerful, mostly for cleansing out the temple, because the temple is just trust me, you want to keep it clean. Anyway, so we're going to have that, and then also I do tons of readings. I do astrological charts, birth charts, natal interpretations. I do compatibility reports. I do relationship reports. I do transit reports. I do astrological readings in many different ways. So we'll have that on the website also. You can purchase different charts and readings, stuff like that. Video teleconference readings, all that stuff. That's all coming up. And if you want any of that right now, you can also just email me at streetlevelspirituality@gmail.com. streetlevelspirituality@gmail.com. And I'm happy to hook you up with a good flexible rate based on your needs. I really don't care about money that much. But if you need something, reach out. I love doing the video teleconferencing. Please check out YouTube and Twitch, where my videos are at. And then Facebook, I do a lot of writings there. Completely different format. Facebook. So look for Street Level Spirituality on Facebook. I think there's some links below. Anyway, enough of my yakking. Thank you guys so much for joining me this month. Be open, be willing to be nothing, because in that you'll find something new and fresh and exciting and fun. And, growth is a great thing, man. Like, I wouldn't be doing this right now if I wasn't torn to pieces. I spent my whole life doing graphic design and brand development. It pays well, but it just stopped paying off. Literally, it just stopped paying off. It made no sense to me. But the reason why is because it was my soul. It was my spirit really wanting something different. So your spirit creates these circumstances for yourself. So you find yourself limited, see it as an opportunity, man, and get into it and find new ways to get your needs met. All right, Libra, much love. I'll see you guys next time on Hangin' With. All right, take care.